Hey everybody, GReimer here, coming at you once again from Cerro Gordo Zoo. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. I'm doing alright, I'm doing my thing. I'm just sitting here playing some Minecraft, doing whatever, you know. Still on the wife's account, still working out, hashing out, getting my account back from whoever hacked it. Boy, it's been frustrating. I have heard back from Mojang a couple of times now, none of their solutions have worked. Frustrating. Anyway, though, I'm not here to dwell on that, though. I'm here to do some building, and hopefully you guys get to enjoy this episode with me just kind of building some fun stuff here at the zoo. Hopefully you guys continue to have a wonderful Friday. If you are having a wonderful Friday, if you're not, hopefully it gets better. All right, let's get to this, actually. While we're here in subscriber, or in sponsor park, let me give a big shout out to Brianna Winchell and Todd Feltz for donating last stream. And if you guys did miss the stream, check it out on the channel. It's on there. We did a lot of work in the stream this past weekend. Okay, so if you guys missed it, you're gonna want to check it out. Let's see if we can't get airborne here, and I can show you guys exactly what it is that you all missed there. Then, if you didn't catch it, we built the river. We got the river with the rapids put in. We didn't do any of the detailing on the shores though. We also got these waterfalls in with all the mist coming off of it, as well as the caves that they come out of. All built, and let's see if I can land gently right here. Look at that, beautiful, soft, smooth as a baby's bottom. So we got those caves all done up there. I got these fart bubbles around me right now because I flew too close to the beacon over there. But, well, we got the caves all done up there, so they look all deep and dark and creepy. But if you really zoom in, that's actually just like coal blocks and black concrete powder and whatnot. That's actually just a facade. It's not really a thing. They're not really deep, dark, creepy caves, but they sure look it, don't they? Look at that. From a distance, it looks amazing, and I almost busted into song there. But this kind of blending that we did with the mountains here is kind of what I'm planning on doing for the entire valley around here, to get this kind of dry, arid environment down here in the valley, kind of what I want it to be as it blends into the mountains around it, including having some of the foliage there. Okay, but today, in this episode, you're probably wondering what are we going to watch? Although maybe from the title you figured it out. So in last episode, oh, I also forgot to show you guys this. We built the fox exhibit. Check it out, we got red foxes in here. I think we got 3 of them. There's Robin, there's Aiden, and then there's Swiper, I think is the name of the foxes in there. So that one's hiding behind some of the flowers over there, but it's in there. So yeah, it was actually the people watching the stream, all of you guys, that commented on maybe making like a tree stump with a den in it, and it's a pretty cool idea. They also suggested that I actually build an underground viewing area for it. So we went ahead and did that as well. Look at that, bam. You can actually see inside their den. Now this underground section is creative, super creative. Way more creative than actually I did something like this in last zoo, but not for foxes I didn't. But it's way more creative than what I normally would come up with. Now if you remember my original plan for this area, it was to create like a picnic area kind of thing right here. I'm throwing that out the window, I'm not doing it anymore. Why? Because I think this looks way better. This access to the underground is something that I don't want to just have for the fox exhibit. I think that this would be a great idea because there's like this peninsula area, or not peninsula, plateau area, I guess you could call it. It's a little bit raised up off the ground here. Oh yeah, I also had a creeper blow up right there too, and I didn't fix it. Whatever, I'll have to fix it anyway. So as I'm doing all the terraforming, but this like 3 or 4 block raised elevation right here for a big portion of the zoo, and there's a big section right here that'd be perfect for another exhibit. And so that's what we're going to do in this episode. What I want to do is I want to build the otter exhibit right here. I think that'd be great. Nice big otter exhibit with a big underground section so you can see them swimming in the water and stuff. How cool would that be? I think that'd be fantastic. But to do that, we're going to have to get to marking out this area and figuring out how big I'm going to make this. As far as the viewing area itself, this might be a pretty big exhibit. Let me look at the map real quick here, because there's a lot of space right here. And if I have this path continue this way, I'm trying to think, how do I want this thing to fit in here? This also was not marked on the overview of the map. I do want a path that kind of comes along this river right here, so it can't go past the hill, basically. So it's going to fit somewhere right in here. But I want one of the viewing areas up here, kind of so as you walk past the bathrooms, you can either go down to the fox exhibit, or you can just sit here and maybe view them from this area. So maybe just like right here. Maybe a nice big area right here, because I want to make sure that I have an underground section where you can view it also. In fact, I want a tunnel basically connecting over here to where this path is going this way. So I need this to burrow out this way. So maybe right here, maybe this southern end of this plateau will be the otter exhibit. I think that'd be pretty good. Thinking something maybe like that. And it's kind of, I kind of just winged it, eyeballed it. But if the tunnel connecting is going to go like right here, maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking if the tunnel connecting is going to go like right here, then I don't want it to go much farther. Actually, I suppose it could go just a little bit farther out this way. Let's actually have it extend out just a little bit farther that way. Plotting it out with the torches first, trying to figure out where I'm supposed to put this thing. Yeah, all right, so let's just say that's the otter exhibit. Okay, it's a very big exhibit, so I think I only have like 2 otters. So maybe as time goes on and as I do more animal hunts and stuff, I'll keep my eyes peeled for more otters. I think I saw one, a couple episodes, or last actual episode I did, but I didn't catch it because I was like, I got otters. Well, I'm going to change my mind on that. Next time I see an otter, I'll catch it. But to get this to fit correctly, I got to do some digging. So I got to dig this out now. Wow, that is an egg-shaped hole. All right, check that out. I got a lot of it dug out now. I'm not actually completely done, but as I was sitting here digging this out, I was thinking to myself, what are you gonna do for the otters? Like, what kind of design are you gonna do for their pen here, for their exhibit? And I thought it'd be kind of cool if we actually built like a central kind of island for them, actually, like a landmass there for them to crawl around on, and then have it surrounded by like a ring of water, similar to what I did with the platypus exhibit last season, except for on a much larger scale. This is a big hole I dug in the ground. Now, I also made sure that the elevation is like a couple blocks lower than the viewing area, so that they will actually have a little bit of area to dip down in and actually swim down, like below the glass, you know? Not underneath, like, the people watching, not like underneath their feet. But, you know, like, so they can see them go down kind of below where their viewing area is and then come back up by a block, you know? So it's not that much. But yeah, instead of carving out the center here, I might want to actually leave it, because even though I probably should have left a whole lot more of it, this is when I realized that. All of a sudden clicked. All right, so here it is. I mean, this is it. If you look on the map, it's actually a very large area I dug out right there. And I'm thinking that this might be a pretty good amount of landmass, maybe a little bit farther north, you know, something. I also started using my fortune pick to dig out some of the stuff to save on durability for my silk touch pick, as well as I need more cobble, just because I need more of that in my life. I need I need more cobble for in my chest. I don't have as much stored up as I do stone. But I also need to line these walls actually with cobblestone. Now right here is going to be the viewing area, but for right now I'm just going to cover it up with cobblestone, and then we'll deal with that later. But I got to line this entire area with cobble right now, because the walls that I'm using in the zoo look something a little bit like fly. Like a little something like, let me get over here and we'll go to the new exhibit, the fox exhibit. They look a little something like that. See how they have cobblestone behind the fence posts and stuff like that? I'm going to keep that going. Now, when this gets into the water, of course, that's not going to work, is it? I'm just now realizing this. Maybe I'll do this design, but when it gets to the water level, I'll discontinue and it'll just be cobblestone. That's probably what I'll have to do. Hello, fox. Ta-da! That's a whole lot of cobblestone. All right, that's it looks pretty blah, but hey, it's done. Okay, I got the walls kind of done and finished in there, and I still have this landmass in the middle that I have to build up, and I think that's what I should probably focus on right now. Right? Yeah, I should probably focus on that right now. Okay, so I'm thinking it might be all right just to do my original idea. I was thinking as I was putting these walls in, what if I connected it to this wall, since there's not really a walkway over here that I'm planning on putting in. But maybe there will be in the future. I'm not too sure. This plan is still very malleable as far as like what I'm going to do for the rest of the zoo here. I just have the basic outline to go off of just a rough idea, and there's a lot of space to work with. This otter exhibit wasn't even on that outline. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and build up a rock structure here that I can then go ahead and replace parts of it with like some grass and whatnot. But mainly it's going to be rock. If you remember the otter build that I did last year, or last season, That one was very stone and gravel-like. Give the otters something to crawl around on. And this is going to be very similar in the sense that now I actually do have otters in the area of the world where I live. So I kind of get the idea that they live in kind of a forest-like biome kind of area-esque type thing, like near water, obviously. So I'm going to try to stick with that, but I do want them to have something to like grip their claws into and whatnot, so they can climb up on these surfaces and what, you know. So I don't really want to just make it a forest completely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick to the kind of like the gravel beach kind of looking area, and maybe if towards the center of the island up here, I'll put a little bit of greenery and stuff. I think that might work out pretty good. All right, but first I'm going to have to build this area up a lot. I'm gonna need a lot more stone. I have a lot more stone on me somewhere. I have this. There's one whole stack. I'm gonna have to go get more of that though. I have a ton stored in my little bunker over there. All right, there we go. We got ourselves a landmass, an island in the center of this exhibit. I think that'll work out just fine, just dandy. Of course, I can tweak it and kind of mold it and change it as I see fit. Now, I think I also dug that little area right there because that's kind of where the glass viewing area is gonna be for underground. Remember, it's going to connect down here, so you can actually go down there. Oh, hi, there's a zombie chilling down there. You're not welcome here. The park is closed at the moment. Still under construction. You're going to have to come back later. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so, that's where the glass viewing area is going to be for the patrons to come and see the otters from underground. And you can actually see them swimming in the water. So the water in here is going to be I'd say up to like it'll fill up that and fill up right there. That's where it'll be. So you can actually kind of see him. Well, I mean, if you jump, you can see him swimming on the surface, but you can also see him swimming under the water. And the ground is going to come down to right here. So this last little area right here, this final block, this spot right here, actually still has to get filled in with what I want the ground to be in like under the water. So we're thinking like gravel and a lot of dirt and basically like a riverbed is what I'm going for. And then I have to fill it up to right here. So it's actually gonna fill up to like right here. So these two blocks right here is actually the only land. That's gotta change. That's gotta change. That's not a lot of land for these things to kind of chill out on. So maybe I'll bring this whole forward. Like I said, I can mold this and change it to whatever I want. Maybe I should bring this forward just a little bit. Because I need them to have a little bit more land to walk around on, because that was a really big exhibit with not a very big island. All right, that's a little bit better. Got a little bit more land up here for the otters to kind of roam around on. And also, there's no grass at the bottom of this. Now, normally, when I'm putting in dirt in the bottom of like a riverbed or something, I always replace it with coarse dirt so that grass doesn't grow on it. However, there is no grass anywhere down here that this could grow onto. So I think to save on resources, mainly because I'm kind of running a little low on gravel, I really got to go collect more of that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use dirt down at the bottom of this to kind of make up a big portion of the riverbed. And I'll sprinkle in the rest of the stuff, but I'm basically replacing the coarse dirt with this stuff for at least the under the water part. I'm also going to have to include lights or something down here, because if the otters are swimming around down here, you're probably going to want to see them as the guests. If I was one of the guests, I'd be like, you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing the animals. So I think I'm going to have to actually incorporate some lights underwater here, maybe kind of embedded under some glass or something. I don't know, I'll brainstorm as I'm placing these blocks. But first I got to get all these things in here though. Okay, along with the dirt that's now placed, I'm also going to sprinkle in a fair amount of sand, actually. I'm going to go pretty heavy on this stuff, too, because it it's supposed to represent kind of the under the water kind of area here, and I want to make sure that it's got a nice sandy, kind of gravelly bottom for the otters. Something that kind of represents kind of like a lake, maybe, that they might be swimming in, you know, a little natural habitat for them. So we're going to go ahead and sprinkle this in pretty heavy, and the only other block I'm probably going to be adding to this area, aside from maybe the occasional bit of cobblestone, is probably gravel, I'm thinking. Mixing gravel to this would probably come out pretty nice, or turn out pretty nice, so I think that's the only other block I'll probably be mixing in here, because it's going to be underwater too, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. But I do want to have a little bit of block diversity even underwater, so let's go ahead and drop all the sand in here, and then we'll sprinkle in a little bit of gravel and see what we got. Ta-da! I lied a little bit. I also added some brown terracotta in with that. Actually, I thought that looked really good, especially when you're talking about like an underwater area. I think that's going to look really good. Now, I don't want this to be completely flat like this, so I got to go ahead and grab basically all the blocks that I used down there again and kind of build up little spots here or there. Like I said, I don't want it to be completely flat. I think that would look really boring if it was. So in some areas, I'm going to actually kind of raise this up a little bit and kind of sprinkle in whatever I can in there to kind of make it stand out a little bit. You know, like kind of little spots like that, because otherwise it's going to look really boring here if it's just a flat bottom on this whole thing. So Let's go ahead and just kind of drop in a few pieces here or there, something like that. All right, now we're going to raise up little parts of it every now and then. Nothing really too fancy. Like I said, ooh, big leg spike. Like I said, just enough to raise this up to make it look a little bit more interesting than what we have going on right now. Okay, and with that, I think we're ready. Nope, never mind, I lied. I was about to say I think we're ready to put in the water, but I think it would be much easier to put the lighting in if we did that before all the water went in there. So let's start off right here in where the viewing area is going to be. We're going to slap a light down right here, actually. Oh, a little too far down, or was it? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's raise that just a little bit. Slap down some glowstone, slap down some brown glass above it right there to kind of blend it in a little bit with kind of the area around it. I think that looks pretty good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle in a few of these things throughout this. While I keep digging, the haste kind of really goes nuts here. So we're gonna keep putting these things in occasionally, about that far apart, all the way around here, so this place is lit up at the bottom. So that people can actually see the otters if they are swimming down there. Now, I don't think the otters are going to drown. This is going to definitely be 3 deep water instead of 1 deep water. I'm pretty sure otters don't drown. But if they do, it looks like this whole water level is getting dropped. But first, I'm going to go ahead and put in these lights real quick, and then we'll get to adding the water. Ow. Okay, as I'm filling up the water now, I just kind of realized it's probably going to be way easier to put the glass in before all the water's in. So I might want to actually get to work on the actual viewing chamber here before I go any further. In fact, I might want to actually take a power nap because creepers be creeping and I don't feel like getting blown up. Okay, so viewing area, right? All right, so we're going to be putting that right in here, actually. And I want to squeeze this right in here too. So I want it to go kind of along this wall a little bit. So I don't want it to just be one small little like window. Kind of wanted to have some distance to it so people can walk around and see the otters as they swim by and whatnot. So maybe something like that. Maybe just a little bit more. Let's go like right there. Let's go right there. We'll end it right there. And this one... right there. We'll end it right there. So that'll be the viewing areas for the otters. Yeah, all right, now I gotta connect this because I gotta actually, there's actually like a little bit of a cave opening right here, or this isn't a cave, this is actually the natural terrain still. So this right here should be where the fox viewing area is. This could actually be probably easier than I thought. Oh, never mind, already digging up in the wrong spot. Let's go ahead and plug that back up. And maybe right about here. Yep, that's closer. All right, so let's actually bring this now. It is, no, it's not 1 block down, it's actually the same height. So we're gonna be keeping the same height here. But we do need to remove that. Hello, fox, whichever one you are. And we're going to have the cave extend out this way so that we can get over to where the otter viewing area is. Okay, a little bit of transformation later, and I'm thinking that will probably work pretty good for a tunnel leading to where the viewing area is. So you come down these stairs in order to see the foxes, you know, but you come down here like, ooh, foxes, neat. Look at that. He's just having a good old time. Look at him having fun. He actually looks kind of traumatized. What have you been through, buddy? You've been through some stuff, haven't you? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. All right, but anyway, you turn over here and you go over here to see the otters then. Now, I carved this out right here, just kind of going straight line. I'm just going to leave that the way it is right there. I know it looks bad, but that's for a future project. That's for a future GReimer to worry about, not this one right now. This one is focused on this build right here. So this is where all the glass is going to go, is right in here. I'm going to probably just leave it with a cobblestone frame, actually. I think that looks fine because it can meshes really well with the rest of the exhibit. So I'll just leave it just how it is right there. Just like how the fox's perimeter, or their outline for their window, has a wood design because it matches or meshes with their outline that they have going on there. This one works pretty good for in here. All right, so that looks all right, except for now I'm outside the exhibit looking in. But I'm thinking that looks all right for what I have in mind here. Now, I'll do that up this cave later. That's why I just threw down some torches instead of actually, you know what? I could probably put those in. Oh, I have to fix the top part. Let's get the glass backpack out, which I usually don't actually open. Let's throw those in there so that I have those all put away. Goodbye, glass backpack. We'll see you on the next exhibit. Up here, I had to do a little bit of terraforming to get this all to kind of make sense, and I'm thinking about just filling this in because it looks really weird. Although, I mean, I can just leave it looking weird because I'm gonna have to jazz up this terrain anyway. So I could just leave it like this. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. because I have to make this terrain look like the rest of the zoo over there, the rest of the biome I'm creating. So yeah, I'll probably just leave it like that. But look at that, there's their viewing area. So when they're in here swimming around, acting all ottery like, they can look over there and see the people staring at them. Now I do need to raise the water up still. I need to raise the water up at least one. Now I'm thinking maybe one might be a good one. But I was gonna do two actually, but now I'm thinking maybe one. Let's just get this raised up a little bit here, and then I'm gonna go check it out from the viewing area and see if that looks good or bad or in between. Let's just do that and we'll see what it looks like. Oh, it's getting nighttime, isn't it? Creepers be creeping, people. I mean, yeah, you could actually see the otters swimming around if it was at that height. What would it look like here? I don't know. I feel like running around. I'm lazy. What would it look like if I raise the water up one more even? Let's just kind of do this and this, and we're gonna kind of give myself a little example to look at here. I'm lazy again. I'm just gonna bust it right here. Okay, I mean, see, like, the 3 deep water right there would get the effect that I'm looking for being able to see them underwater swimming around is kind of what I was going for. But the problem is you don't see any of the land stuff because you can't see the water through the water. This way you could actually see the land, and you could also see part of it through the water. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm only going to leave it 2 high. And, oops, that totally missed right there completely. I'm only going to leave it 2 high and fill up the water that way. Change of plans from my original idea. This will also give them a little bit more land on in the center here too, so it will be a good thing, I'm thinking. Ta-da! All right, the water is in. The water's in place. Now, didn't think ahead of this, did I? I actually never finished the walls. Never finished the walls yet, so that's kind of a whoopsie. So we're gonna go ahead and have to try to finish that with the water in place now, which actually might not end up looking too bad. So maybe it's kind of a blessing in disguise, but I think on this one, I was talking about putting the fence posts in and stuff. I think I might skip the fence post because this is mainly just a water exhibit. So instead of putting fence posts in between these supports, maybe I'll just leave those missing on this one. I know it's kind of different from all the other exhibits, but I just don't think they're gonna look very good if they're just encompassing. You know what, actually, I could probably make it work, but I don't think I'm going to put, like, all the fence posts in. I think I'm just going to put them in almost like they're supporting the wood supports, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't. All right, just trust me. It'll look good. It'll look good. It'll look good. Let me get it done here, and then I'll show you. Something like that. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was having trouble explaining it. It's like they're kind of underneath supporting the wood. I don't know. Like I said, this is what I was thinking about right here, not this part right here. This was me trying to get rid of an invisible block. Something like that. I also went ahead and sprinkled in some mossy cobble in there too, because if this is sitting in the water for a long time, it's probably going to get a little mossy. You know, unless the zookeeper keeps up on his duties and cleans the tank, which I might forget from time to time because I kind of forget some things from time to time. But anyway, so this is the basic gist of the entire exhibit, actually. Now, the only thing really left to do is to actually add up the land here. So I'm thinking I have 2 bits of gravel on me. That's not enough. How much? I don't need anything out of there yet. Not that one either. Hold on, where is it? Ground backpack. That's what I'm looking for. Ground blocks. All right, so we got some gravel in here, gravel in there. I'm going to need some of that. I'm also going to need some coarse dirt and some grass. Maybe even a little bit of sand. Might even sprinkle in a bit of andesite in there just to give it a little bit of texture. And we're going to go with some of these things. In fact, I'm going to need more than just 2 of those slabs, so we're going to go and do that. Although I probably have plenty inside of my squid backpack. But all right, so let's go ahead and get the hotbar up and running here. First things first, let's start off with the coarse dirt. Now, this is not a lot of coarse dirt, and I don't have a lot of coarse dirt, to be honest. But that's fine, because actually I don't really need to put a lot in here. This is actually going to be just a couple of little spatterings here or there. Primarily, this is going to be a gravel or stone beach kind of looking area, so I don't really need to overdo it too much with the coarse dirt. Just a little bit here or there. Now, up here, I'm going to actually have a little bit more foliage, I'm thinking, as you go farther up on the little island up here. So I'm going to kind of put in a couple bits of this a little bit heavier up in this area. But it's going to trickle down, really. It's not going to be a dominating block throughout the whole island here, I think. In fact, that might be good enough. Let's just do one, like, diagonal from one right there. That's good. Good, man. Maybe one more down here. Just kind of spread it out, even it out a little bit. All right, now the gravel, on the other hand, gravel is going to be a little bit more of a dominating block in this area. So especially down here near the water's edge, I think gravel is going to be a more important block. I wanted to make it look like there are gravel patches actually in this, almost like veins of it. And I think having it bleed into, that's an axe, that's not going to do anything. Having it bleed into the water itself will end up looking pretty good, kind of like that right there. And maybe even throw the corner piece right there as a piece of gravel as well. All right, so just dot this in here like so. And then we're going to have to add at least one other block to it, which I'm thinking, if you know how I build, you probably know what that other block is going to be, because it really makes things pop. But let's get the gravel in here first. All right, now before we get too gung-ho with that block that makes things pop, I'm actually going to just dot in the occasional cobblestone in here or there. And then I also want to add a little smack dab of andesite in this area too, here near the water's edge actually. All in the stony area right here. I don't really want to go too nuts though with this cobble, and I don't really want to go too nuts with the andesite as well. But mainly, like I said, stone beach, that's what we're going for right here. That's the look I'm looking for. All right, then the final block here, now we have the andesite put in a couple of spots, and we got a little bits of cobble here or there. Final block, and this is gonna be used sparingly, is grass and path blocks. Okay, both of those actually. I don't really want to mat down every grass block I put in here, but I do want to put a little bit down here or there. So like something like that will look good for this area. And maybe a little bit right next to the edge here. And maybe one of them actually mat that down. See, something like that. Okay, so I don't really want to go too nuts with converting all the grass to path blocks. And I also don't want to add too much grass in this area because it's not supposed to be a grassland. It's supposed to be kind of more of a stone beach. So obviously I'm not going to go too crazy with it. Just sprinkling it in little bits in there. Man, it gets nighttime so quick around here. I got to sleep again. Creepers, creeping, jeez. Okay, I think that's pretty good for the stone beach look. Now up here, this definitely needs a little TLC, so we're gonna have to knock out a lot of the stone actually, and I might be replacing a fair amount of this. But up here, actually, I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on the actual greenery, because this is supposed to be more of the actual grass area with a heavy amount of stone interference, I guess, you know. So the stone is definitely gonna be sprinkled in here still, but I do want it very heavy on the on grass. There we go. Now let's just mat down some. Ooh, that looks really ugly. Hold on a second. I gotta fix that. I won't be able to sleep tonight. Knock that out. Bam, fix it. Okay. Whew, I can rest easy. Okay, now let's go ahead and mat down quite a bit of this grass up here actually, because this is where the otters are gonna be roaming around. But I do want to make sure they have a little bit of grassland, a little bit of foliage and whatnot to play around with. Speaking of foliage, I do have to add in just a little bit. I don't really know how much I'm going to be putting in here. Very small amounts, I'm thinking, because it's not so much grass, or not so much lively area up here. I might throw a tree or two. Maybe a tree. I might throw a tree in here just to give them some kind of shade, because I'm sure otters wouldn't mind a little bit of shade. I think last season I actually had like a little overhang for them actually to reside in, which probably would make a lot more sense. But man, my inventory sucks right now. I have to store some of this stuff and make some room here. Holy cow. Let's just store all of that, because I'm basically done. This I'm going to need though, and I also wouldn't mind, I think it's in the squid backpack. Yep, right there, buttons. I'm going to need them too, because buttons are a must. Pebbles and stuff being on the beach are a must, especially in an otter exhibit, because otters tend to juggle pebbles on their bellies. So they probably are going to want some of these to actually play around with. So I'm definitely going to be sprinkling these things in all over the place for them to have some pebbles to play around with. You know, that'd be mean not to give them a little something to play with if that's what they like to do. I think that's pretty good though. I think that's pretty good for all the pebbles I want to put in there. Okay, no more pebbles. You guys, you get like 10 of them and that's it. So, well, actually, there's not going to be that many otters in here. I actually don't know how many otters I have. But I'll get more. I'll get more if I need it. So let's go ahead and actually kind of smooth this out a little bit. And then we're going to add in a couple of little chunks of cobble slabs here to kind of make this all kind of blend together nicely. And then make it actually look kind of like a mound. Even that looks okay. Actually, what would look better, I can do that with these guys actually. It would look better as if there was actually a little chunk of something stuck in there. I do need, let's get like maybe a piece of andesite. Throw that in right there. Perfect, good. All right, and then where's the slabs again? We're gonna do this, kind of make this, like I said, build this up so it looks kind of like it's smoothing into itself a little bit. Just like that. And I'm thinking this is probably pretty good. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. All right, now I did think about putting a tree in here. And I'm having second guesses on that. If there's gonna be a tree, it can't be a very big one, because otherwise it's just gonna look like an island with a stick in the middle of it, you know. So I guess an oak tree would look all right though, because an oak tree has like branches that come off of it, and so I did not fly there. I sort of did. I kind of launched off the ground and belly flopped. That was like a learning to fly moment right there. All right, let's go grab an oak sapling. If I can get one of the dynamic tree oak saplings. If only I could find an oak acorn anywhere. Man, I've got a lot of these things. All right, so I don't really want to center this thing because I think that would look a little weird. So I'm going to slap her actually right there. See if we can't grow this a little bit. Get this, could you stop expanding in my face? Get this growing as far ahead, up and away. I want you to get to be a big oak tree. Oh, I'm in a leaf. I'm in a leaf again. I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but I do want to actually trim this a little bit. And I might as well grab the leaves while I'm at it. So let's trim the bottom of that just a smidge. Oh, see, it does grow back. Maybe if I have something in the way, it won't grow back. Maybe. I don't know. Nah, it's still growing back. I guess it's not a big deal because otters are only 1 block tall, so they can squeeze under there. And it does do what it's supposed to do, give them a little shade and foliage. But first, I got to hurry up and actually get some plant life in there before it grows back. Otherwise, I can't get in there. So let's go ahead and just build this up just a wee bit. No flowers, it looks like. No, never mind. Right there. As soon as I say it, you know, bam. I don't really know if I need to put anything super different in here as far as like the cool plants. Let's look and see what we got. So yeah, a couple mushroom, I should say, not a couple, but a mushroom or something like that might look pretty good, like on the side here, next to the tree. And then is there any other kind of fun, fancy stuff? I could put some lily pads in here, which wouldn't look too bad. But as far as flowers and whatnot, I don't really know about much in the line of flowers. I can always put a berry bush in there. I mean, that should look pretty good. Let's just slap that bad boy down right there. I think that's about all the detail I got to add up here on this part. There's nothing else really in here I want to add. Eucalyptus, no. Dead bushes, nah. Reeds wouldn't look too bad, actually, in the water. These are the ones that have to kind of jump and place weird. And I think I got to put them, yeah. One of those might not be real, but I'll know when I reload the world. There we go. There we go. So yeah, I'll sprinkle these guys in. This is starting to come along though. The foliage is coming in. I was gonna put actually like bushes and stuff as far as like leaves. I can't place these things. Oh, there we go, got it. But I don't know if I really need to do that because I'm thinking that this is looking pretty good as it is. In fact, I don't really want to put any more reeds in there. I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and squirt the bone meal back into this backpack because I don't need that anymore. Yeah, I was thinking about putting actual like bushes made out of leaf blocks in here, but I think the tree does it. The tree does it already. The sun is already setting. Holy cow. All right, and then what did I say? Lily pads wouldn't look too bad in here too. I don't really have too many of them, but I do have some of them, and I do want to create a little diversity with the lily pads too. I don't really want them to all be the same. But I don't want this to look like a bog, okay? I don't really want this to look way overdone. Like I do want to make it look like I at least attempted to clean the tank. All right, I think that's probably enough with the lily pads. I don't really want to go too much more than that. And there's really no foliage underwater I want to put in there. I think that looks just fine. I did go ahead and add a couple of cattails along the edge of the water. Thought that looked pretty good, but I'm thinking that's probably it. Let's get up above here, maybe, and we'll see what this looks like. Whoa. All right, for an otter exhibit. All right, that's what we're going for on this one. Hopefully this looks kind of like one. It definitely gives them plenty of room to swim around in, okay, because I know otters like to jump in the water. And it definitely gives them some land to rest on, so there's that. I guess otters also eat fish, so maybe I should add a fish barrel in there too. I think that'd probably be good. In fact, let's go grab that. Yeet. Still one of my absolute favorite things that I just discovered on the stream this past weekend is that if you right-click with a block in your hand on one of these food barrels, it opens it. But it's supposed to do that. But when you back out, it changes the barrel to look like the block you clicked on it with. How cool is that? I love that. All right, so let's go ahead and actually open this up. We're going to go fish, fish, fish. Bam! They got a bunch of fish there. So they got some food. They got some food on the land so they can come up here, they can swim around, have fun, juggle their pebbles, and then just sit there and rub their bellies while they're full of fish. So that really works. Now, there's one last little thing I got to add to this. Yeah, if I can get up here. Let's get the squid backpack out. I need you desperately in my life. We're gonna need to add, ooh, not iron bars, steel bars, but I need more of those things first. But we're gonna have to add the steel bars around it, and then of course the pads and stuff, but I'll do the pads later. I just wanted to get this exhibit done for sure. Okay, the steel bars are put in, and I think that exhibit is finished. All right, so if you guys like this exhibit, go down and smash the like button and just let me know. Or just go in the comments and say, hey, I like the exhibit. But let's also talk about one other thing I'm going to need you guys to drop in the comment section. Names, okay? Because I think I have otters, but I have to go check to see how many I actually have. I've got 2. All right, I've got 2 small clawed otters, okay? So I need 2 names. Probably going to see if I can't find more, so feel free to pitch as many names as you'd like. But I got 2 otters that I need names for. So if you guys could, down in the comment section, please go down and add your best otter names. And if you could have a reason for them, if you got like a good story, you know, go ahead and drop that in there too. I always like good stories. So I think I'm going to wrap this episode up though. We did a lot of work. This was just a big flat area when I first got here. So a lot of work today. So thank you guys for donating your eyeballs and ear holes to this episode. Look at that, the sun's setting again. Wow, man, time really flies. I will be back next week with more ZAWA for your eyeballs and ear holes to enjoy. In fact, actually, speaking of ZAWA, before I go, apparently ZAWA has updated, okay? There is a beta out. It's called the Beef Beta in honor of VintageBeef. For all the support that he has given the developers, they released a beta version of ZAWA Evolved. All right, it's out there for you guys to go download. I wish I had a link in the description. I might be able to drop one in there. I have to go look for it real quick, okay? But if it's not there, just look for it. Look for the ZAWA Evolved, okay? That's out there if you guys want to play it. I'm going to hold off on updating this mod pack right away, at least, until either Beef does or something like that. But mainly because it's a beta and there's still some issues and bugs with it. But it's like what they got going so far. So go out there and play it if you'd like. Check out the new animals that they've added. I'm kind of excited for it. I can't wait until it's like fully released so that I can really dive into it. But yeah, just to let you guys know it's out there. Ooh, creepers are spawning in. Okay, it's also on the Omega server. So if you're looking to play on a multiplayer ZAWA server, check out the Omega server, okay? It's a lot of fun. So, okay, guys, I got to get out of here before I get blown up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.